Lunch money. Well, while she's trying to get rich, the rest of us are trying to get our lunch money right. Polina,
Bang,
what
bang.
are the topics today?
All right, well, I was ready with the trillionaire energy, unlike you. With the you only got like multi-millionaire energy today.
Go ahead.
I got the trillionaire energy. Okay.
Go ahead.
Speaking of trillionaire energy, tech giants lost more than $1 trillion in value in the last 3 trading days. You see what I did there?
I did.
That's crazy. What is going on? It's a bloodbath out there, guys.
Carnage everywhere. There's 3 markets that I think people should be paying attention to. 1 is all the public stocks. 2 is crypto. 3 is the private markets. If you think of the big, large public companies, they're all bleeding, and it ain't going to stop anytime soon. The Fed has in control. The Fed is in control. They are going to continue to increase interest rates. They're now talking about 50 basis points at a time. They have pulled their bid out of the market, and they are going to push asset prices down, and they are going to punish you. They're going to punish the average pensioner, and they're going to punish anyone that is in financial markets until they get inflation under control. My guess is that this is going to happen much quicker than they believe, and they will cool off by the end of the year, and maybe even we get a little rate cut. Again, that's my little, what do they call it?
2 cents?
Contrarian view. Everyone thinks they're going to keep hiking rates. A couple of people think they're contrarian because like, oh, maybe they won't hike as much. No, I'm going the opposite. I'm saying we're going to get 1 rate hike. Again, maybe 70% confidence. I reserve the right to change my mind, but at the moment, 70% confidence.
It's a lot of disclaimers.
Of course it is. Listen, 70% confidence. It's all probabilities. 70% probability that before the end of the year, we get 1 rate cut. If, as we go, they start changing the way that they're talking about this stuff, then maybe my confidence will increase or decrease. I'll keep you updated.
Whoever said this segment is the worst part of the show?
Well, they're a loser.
No, they're not losers.
No, they are.
No, be kind to your friends. All right. Janet Yellen says that the financial system is working well despite the potential for continued volatility.
Well, to be fair, that's probably true. What in the financial system is not working in terms of what they're attempting to do?
Well, the fact that they're blaming Russia and China's lockdowns for inflation.
Yeah, but that to me, my view is that that's not the financial system not performing. What that ends up being is more about this idea of the way that they're describing it. Who they're laying blame on is obviously stupid. Everyone knows it's stupid. No one believes it. Nobody thinks that Vladimir Putin created a gas hike. Nobody. 0 people believe that. And so ultimately, what ends up occurring is that they may lay the blame there, but just because they lay the blame there doesn't mean that the financial system isn't working.
So in what way is the financial system working, even though they like kind of manufactured
Go to
this
2008,
recession?
2009. Banks failed and literally went bankrupt. There was a financial crisis and the banks were brought to their knees. That was a financial system with systemic risk because literally if they didn't step in, if they didn't do certain things, some of those more of the banks would have went out of business. It would have been really bad. Bloodbath. Now what's happening is, asset prices are going down, but it's actually a system that is operating the way it is designed to operate. Now we may disagree with why they're doing it or even how they get to that being the thing that they should do.
Okay.
But ultimately, their whole thing is the Federal Reserve is in control. They should be able to expand or contract the monetary supply. They should be able to manipulate interest rates in response to the macro environment so that it creates an ability for humans to now have control over an economy. I personally disagree that that is the best strategy, but that is the way that the system is designed today. And so what they are doing is they are expanding and contracting the monetary supply. They're increasing and decreasing interest rates, and they're playing Geppetto. That's what they're doing. They're like, up there and Geppetto's dancing here. That's exactly what the Federal Reserve is doing. They're playing Geppetto in markets. They say, ooh, grow, 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 grow. Then they say, ooh, come back down, come back down. Don't fight the Fed. Number 1 rule in investing right now.
Don't fight the Fed.
Don't fight the Fed.
Just go with the flow of the Fed.
The Fed literally, this was the trade over the last 2 years. Buy assets. When they said we're coming into the market, if the Fed comes in the market, you go in the market. When the Fed says we get out the market, you get out the market. Guess what? Newsflash. If the Fed says, we changed our mind, we're getting back in the market, probably should listen and say, I'm just going to do what the Fed's going to do. It's kind of like when I ask an investor, they're like, oh, I heard there's this great company. Oh, you should really look at it. My first question is, are you investing? If you're in, I'm interested. If you're sending me a deal and you're not investing, probably not interested.
Well, but it might be in your wheelhouse, not in theirs.
Ain't nobody got a wheelhouse. If it's a good deal,
Wheelhouse.
I don't care if you invest in biotech. If you get the chance to invest in Mark Zuckerberg,
Right.
you should invest.
Do investors really send you deals that they don't invest in?
Yeah. And then I ask them, are you investing? And they come up with some nonsense answer. Well, I have a savings account and checking account and savings account and checking account, like whatever. And so I hit them with, nah, I don't even need to talk to the founder. If you don't think it's good enough for your money, then it ain't good enough for my money.
And definitely not good enough for my money.
Exactly. Perfect.
Okay. Andy, so while all of this is happening, guess what's happening in the, I guess, private art markets? Andy Warhol. I can't say it.
Warhol.
Wait, how do you say it? Andy
Warhol.
Warhol.
I don't even know that's how you say it.
can't
That's how I say it.
I know. There's certain words in the English language I just don't even try. That's one of them.
Warhol.
Andy's 1964 portrait of Marilyn Monroe sold for, God, I can't speak today, $195 million at Christie's Monday night. That is the painting. How did I not get it? You know I have a Marilyn painting.
That's $195 million?
Yes.
I'm about to be an artist.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm about to be an artist. You can make $195 million?
You cannot paint that.
That looks like someone did it on Photoshop.
What you mean?
That literally looks like
Okay.
someone Photoshopped. That hair does not look real.
What about the NFTs? Are you going to say this is not real? Come on.
Listen,
Right.
by the way, nobody is comparing NFTs to physical art. All I'm saying is that that's insane. And it's more about the story than the art. That piece right there sold for $195 million
Yes.
because $194 million and $900,000 worth
Yeah.
is because it's Andy Warhol's name on it, and
True,
100K of it was because
true,
of what it looks
true.
like.
An orange version recently sold to hedge fund billionaire Ken Griffin for over $200 million, and they said it's the Mount Everest of its era. Everyone in the world, when these paintings were made, knew the story of Marilyn Monroe, the epic loss and the epic achievement. Andy himself was beginning to become an icon.
Andy dead?
So it's two icons at their height. That's a good question.
Is Andy dead?
He is dead.
Unfortunately dead. Rest in peace. But he is what we would call he's running a scam.
He's not running anything. He is not here with
He
us
sold a piece
today.
of canvas for $200 million. He told a story around it.
No, not him.
No, but I'm just saying, like, he
Somebody-
created something and it
whatever.
grew to $200 million.
That
Like,
is
there's a whole scam going on.
That's not a scam. That's called capitalism.
You're not wrong.
Can
You're
I
not
get
wrong.
Can I get the meme with the thing?
Yeah, you're not wrong. That actually was there was like one thing you could have said there that I'd be like, yeah, you're not wrong. That was what you could have said. That was pretty good. That's actually very good. I'm impressed.
Well, thank you. I'm actually hilarious. You don't think I'm
Let's keep
hilarious, but I
going.
am
Let's keep
hilarious.
going. Let's
Okay.
keep going.
So, all right. So this is really interesting. I didn't know that this was happening. Facebook's Meta, that used to be Facebook, is opening a physical store. Did you know this?
Yes, I did.
Oh my God, did we not talk about this? It's a 1,550 square foot space. And it's getting increasingly serious about creating consumer hardware. Are they trying to be Apple? Is that what's happening?
There's definitely a sense of that, but also there's a ton of companies that are doing stuff like this. So Amazon's going into physical stores. Like Amazon has bookstores now. The irony of like they were created online bookstore to disrupt physical bookstores and now have become a physical bookstore again is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Amazon. Oh, we're gonna have a digital grocery offering. Now they have physical grocery offerings, right? Same thing with Facebook is we're going to be this digital social network, digital products. Now they have a physical product store. And so ultimately you're going to see this over and over again, where at some point you just realize like you still need physical space. And especially if you're selling a hardware device, it
Yep.
may be good to have an ability for people to try it before they buy it.
What do you think abandoned mall spaces will be used for in the future?
I think people should go buy them and turn them into apartments. Like this is for the longest time. I've seen people try to do this as well. I think it's a great idea. I haven't seen anyone yet that's like nailed it, but I know of multiple companies that want to go buy malls
Yeah.
And then what they want to do is they want to take like the department stores,
Yeah.
at the ends, turn those into high-rise apartments, and then the middle section of the mall, turn that into like a living space with restaurants and all, like, and so basically you create like a little city.
Yeah, vertical city, but a city nevertheless.
Yeah, and then around the outside, they usually have tons and tons of space. And so you can create parks and like all, you know what I mean? You can like create like a whole living environment at the malls. It's expensive, but definitely think it's possible.
Yeah.
All right,
That's
next.
interesting. Well, we're flying through these
Next.
today. Okay.
Take some questions. Get your questions into the chat real quick.
Ooh, are we going to do live questions?
Maybe.
Okay, so this is hilarious. 3 armed Kenyan wildlife officers must have been on high alert as they cautiously approached a homestead following reports that a stray lion had been sighted in the area. Please show the stray lion. Turned out to be a bag.
That's a bag?
Isn't that amazing? So they mistook, is that a thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mistook a lion or a bag for a real lion
Where is this?
in Kenya.
Come on.
Isn't that
Come on.
great?
Come on.
They were, look at this bag, it's amazing.
I expect that to happen.
It's a false alarm.
I expect that to happen somewhere in like the United States.
No, but it wasn't like the officer's fault. Some, like people called.
No, I get
Yeah.
why, but I'm just saying it's kind of like if all of a sudden somebody said, "Hey, I think that I was walking by somebody's apartment or house or whatever, and I saw that there's a lion in there," and then you get there's a stuffed animal. Like you would expect that to happen again somewhere in America where people were like, "I don't know, like I've seen one lion in my entire life, whatever." But do we know where this is in Kenya?
You know?
If you said there was wildlife officers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So wait,
Does it
why
say
does
where?
it matter where?
Does it say where? Is it near like a zoo? Is it near any sort of like jungle area? Like
I don't know, but
what is the context? That's
the
important.
bag contained avocado seedlings. I wonder if the bag was meant to scare away like rodents and those squirrels and those like gophers that try to eat.
No. Like the difference would be like if somebody was like, "I see a lion," and it's in like Miami, I'd be like, it's probably not a lion. But if let's say that I was, I don't know, in Montana, and they're like, "I saw a lion," I'd be like, "Oh shit, I'm going out. I'm not going outside. Like I'm out."
Well,
It's all about knowing. What?
I'm pointing to questions.
Oh, what?
Well, we're not
are the
there yet.
questions?
We're not there yet. We're not there
Oh,
yet.
okay.
So anything else to say about the lion?
No, I'm chill with the lion.
You know, I honestly, when we're walking in Miami, I'm like, I get scared of leaves. A leaf.
Now, do you want to know? Do you want to know what the funniest thing in
They
all of
always
Miami?
look like
No.
crazy.
No, you want to know what the funniest thing in Miami is? The robots.
Oh yes.
The robots like got little flags on
the
them, and they be
rovering
going
one.
around and they stop. And like, look, robots obviously aren't human. They
I
don't
always-
have
oh,
sentient.
sorry.
Was it sentient beings?
Sentient
Beings, whatever. But you look at it and you're like, "Why are you looking at me?" And it's looking at you, and then you're like, "Okay, which way you going?" And then it's like, "Oh, which way are you going?" And then you're like, "Am I talking to a robot?" And then the robot doesn't talk back, and you're staring at it, and it's like a whole situation.
I don't know. I always feel bad for the robots because all these people are like rushing by, and the robot just wants to get across the street.
It has no feelings. It has no
I
brain.
know,
It doesn't have a heart. It doesn't have a conscience. It doesn't have a soul. It's not going to heaven or hell. It's literally a piece of machine that's going to get broken up at some point
That's
in the
what
future and
happens
tossed
to
in the
us.
dumpster. Yeah, I'm just saying.
That's very similar to a human being.
Yeah, but like if you see the robot and it's like they got it's like for food delivery and stuff, and they got little things. I don't know, like a box on wheels, and like. Zzz, and then obviously they have like sensors, so if it sees people coming or see like whatever, it stops. And when it stops, the first time you see it, you stop, and then you realize like I'm interacting with a robot here, and it gets real weird. You don't feel that way?
No, I just like it. It's called what is it called? When you like think that moving objects are lifelike. You know what I'm saying? Like the Roomba, like you treat it like a pet. You know, what is it called? No, you know what I mean.
I don't know. But do you want to do Ask the Lunch Money now?
Yes, okay. So I actually have a question, but do we want to go with the people's
Well, what is
questions?
the question here first?
The question is, double DP990.
You probably shouldn't read the names of
Oh,
the people.
shoot, why?
Go ahead.
Is that something
No,
bad?
I don't know, but I just anytime there's initials, I'm out.
Okay. What's the point of injecting all that liquidity and stopping the market from crashing if you're just going to go ahead and crash the market later? That's my question too. Like, I'm so curious about that. Why pump the market when you're just going to take it away?
Well, there's two things that are important to understand. The first is this all started in March of 2020 because there was a liquidity crisis. And a liquidity crisis, there's no liquidity in the market. A great example would be, I want to use the pool, but there's no water in the pool. So what do? You start pouring water into the pool. Sweet. At first, when there's a little bit of water, I could go in the pool, I could chill out. Then there's a little bit more water, I can go in the pool, I can chill out. Then there's even more water, I can go in the pool, I can chill out. But at some point, if you keep filling up the pool, the water starts to overflow from the pool. You're like, oh shit, we're creating a tsunami. And then you're like, maybe we shouldn't have so much water in the pool. So you start to contract the amount of water in the pool. Now, your goal is to end up with the pool filled, but not overfilled
Just
and not
right.
underfilled. It's like, what do they call it? The bears and the porridge. Just right.
Wait.
But
I think that's the three golden bear. What was it? What was the story? The three golden bears?
Three bears. That's what I call them. No, I call them bears. So there's bears. It's all right. Everyone knows the story. The woman comes. She got the porridge. She got too hot, too cold, and just right.
No.
That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to do the just right of the pool. Now, the problem is, obviously, they think they're scientists, but they're not. So what do? They Goldilocks. By the way, they pour a bunch of water in. It starts overflowing. Then like, okay, let's contract. But when they go to contract, they end up pulling too much water out, and there's not enough water in the pool. So they're gonna have to go back to filling it back up. It's like a whole game. It's like not enough water, too much water. Not enough water, too much water. Not enough water, too much water. Oh, good times, bad times. Good times, bad times. Good times, bad times. And the whole thing is that you literally have people standing there, and you know what they're doing? They're just like. And they don't even see what they're doing. They're literally not even paying attention. They're asleep at the wheel. They've lost all control. All they know is fill up the pool. This is good. And they close their eyes. And like 2 years later, they're like, oh, the pool's overfilled. Let's take out some of the liquidity. And they close their eyes. And they're going to come back in like 12 months and be like, oh my God, there's no water in the pool. Fill it back up. I'm like, and they're going to do it for 2 more years. And like, it's a whole game. They've literally been doing this for decades now, and it's nonsense.
Anthony just showed you what happens when he tries to fill a pool. So it's not the three golden bears, it's Goldilocks. And then it's not whatever I said earlier, it's anthropomorphize. That's what I was trying to say. You know, when you see like
I think you're still trying to say it.
No. Okay. and then what was the other thing?
Next question.
Oh, okay. Somebody here asked, how did you propose?
No, but listen, I don't need to be talking about that. I did it on a bridge in New York. Called me a bridge boy. I did. Facts.
I thought I was going to a networking event. So
Dude, we were going to network right into a relationship.
Wore a blazer. Okay.
Yeah, you look very professional. So did I, with my jeans with holes in them.
All right, so
next question.
I don't know. Hold on. Are there questions?
Yeah, and people said, and she said yes. Fact. The best bridge boy show. That's how we gonna rename the show.
Somebody said, question, get money, get paid. Do you remember when I said that?
Yes, I remember.
And then
they think I'm funny because I said it looks like you're still trying to pronounce it. You got about 30 seconds, and then I got other things I got to do.
All right. Yeah, I don't see more questions. Guys, help.
No questions? None? Zero?
Literally zero. Hold on.
City boys up?
Somebody's going to come through. Oh, congratulations, Jeff. He has a 3-month-old boy.
Oh, nice.
Okay,
all right. Anything
okay.
else?
Can we buy a horse named Bitcoin?
No.
Oh.
People want me to talk about Do Kwon. Here's the whole deal. Is every single person is acting like they know what the conclusion of this is. Do Kwon bought $3 billion worth of Bitcoin. There are now people who are trying to break the peg that rumors, Citadel and others are trying to break the peg on UST. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't want to get into it, but if you look and go back, Tether stablecoin peg breaking, if I remember correctly, I'll have to go back. I believe at one point, back in 2018, here's a little fact for you for those of you that weren't around. Headline, crypto chaos as Tether USDT stablecoin breaks its peg dollar price. Did any of y'all who weren't around in 2018, did that stop y'all from using Tether? Once they got back to the peg? So this nonsense, this fear, this FUD, all this craziness, there's a lot of people yelling and screaming about the peg. 95% of them can't describe to you how the peg works, nor how the peg got broken, or could the peg go back in place, etc. 95% of people are just completely full of shit when it comes to the peg. That's okay. By the way, I'm not an expert in the peg either. So that's why you don't see me out here tweeting saying, oh, the peg's gonna break or the peg's not gonna break or whatever. We need people to experiment. And there's always risk. I did a whole podcast episode, including when I asked, what are the risks? What are the pros? Why are you doing this? How does it work? Etc. And naturally, as soon as this starts to happen, people start yelling and screaming and going absolutely crazy. But ultimately, we don't know yet what the answer is going to be. If, let's say, this is hypothetical, the peg broke yesterday. If all of a sudden 3 weeks from now they go back to a peg and it's now a peg that sticks, USDT, is that bad or is it not? Should people be yelling and screaming about it? Are they overreacting? Are they underreacting? Nobody knows yet. We don't know what the future holds. And so that's why you see me sitting here saying, as I said before, if Do Kwon is successful in creating a stablecoin backed by Bitcoin, he would create a playbook on how to do it. Let's see if he's successful or not. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. And so the peg broke, but the peg on Tether broke before. The peg on many other stablecoins broke before. We don't know what the future holds. Everyone else needs to chill out. Because the problem is, this is not a zero-sum game. And that's the number one thing that just upsets me about this entire ecosystem, is that so many people believe for my thing to win, your thing has to lose. It's not how the world works.
That's what you told me when we played chess.
Well, because you lost. It is not a zero-sum game. Whether UST works or doesn't work has zero impact on whether Bitcoin works or not. Zero. Bitcoin does not care about the UST peg. Bitcoin does not care about Terra. Bitcoin does not care about Luna. And I think Do Kwon would be the first person to say Bitcoin does not care about Do Kwon. But Bitcoin also doesn't give a shit about me or you or anyone else. Bitcoin does exactly what it was designed to do. It will produce block after block after block after block of transactions. And it will continue to do so. And it won't stop. It's that simple.
That's simple and not complicated. We're out of time.
All right. I appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
Bye, guys.